Hey there, fellow parents. Welcome to the Real Life of Parenting podcast, where we're all about embracing the chaos, sharing the laughter, and navigating the roller coaster ride of parenthood. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jenna.
And together, we're your co-pilots on this adventure.
Each episode will dive into the highs and the lows and the hilariously unpredictable moments that make parenting the wild journey it is.
So get ready for real stories, genuine conversations, and a few parenting hacks along the way. Whether you're dealing with diaper disasters or celebrating those small victories, we've got your back.
So buckle up, hit play, and let's embark on this parenting odyssey together. This is The Real Life of Parenting, where every episode is a reminder that you are not alone in the beautiful chaos of raising little ones.
Hello and welcome back to the Real Life of Parenting podcast. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jenna.
And today we are going to have a little story time. You excited, Jenna?
I'm very excited.
So, for those of you at home, we found a couple, what the actual frick stories. They're pretty messed up, pretty gnarly. Well, not gnarly, but they're like, that's a parent. You're like, why in the hell do you exist? Kind of thing. And then we might share one or two of our personal stories of dealing with kids or this little fur baby right here. He's alive. He just doesn't move. He likes to snuggle.
He's my snuggling baby.
Here's let's start off with a nice little fun one. Do you remember I think about a week or two ago we had the kids, they were in the bathroom with the Kleenex box.
Yeah, they were really quiet, but I didn't think, I know everyone says whenever your kids are really quiet, you should probably go check on them. But I thought, okay, our kids are relatively well behaved for the most part. And I'm like, okay, like they're content doing whatever they're doing in the bathroom. So I didn't think anything of it to like go and check on them. And I went into the bathroom and Lily was just like kind of babbling or whatever to Liam. And they were unloading a box of Kleenex just all over the bathroom. And then I went in and I was like, what are you guys doing? And like, they literally looked at me, smiled, and then they proceeded to try and put all the Kleenex back into the box. I mean, at least they were cleaning up their own mess.
Yeah, I guess so, but
it's just so
I think I had to help a little bit push them.
It was so cute though.
Yeah.
It was cute, but
it's just Kleenex everywhere all over the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun time.
It was a great time.
Just wonderful. Not the worst time, but it could be worse.
Yep.
What was it tonight? She didn't want to do her bubble bath.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, she thought the bubbles were gonna like hurt her or something.
Yeah,
she just I don't know. She's always been okay with bubble baths, and then like we haven't done a bubble bath for them in a while.
Yeah.
And like you had the bubbles already and whatever.
Liam
and
was
like
excited, so I put Liam in there.
Yeah. And then
I did her stuff, and then she had a poops in her diaper. Like, frig girl.
Yeah, so she's pissed off because you had to clean her first before putting her in the bathtub.
Yeah. It wasn't just like a little poop on her bum; it was a lot of poop. So
yeah.
So you're wondering, like, oh, you're just throwing her in the bathtub, anyways.
Yeah, I know it was a lot, and yeah, I think she thought that the bubbles were gonna like kill her. I don't know.
Bubbles were basically acid.
Yeah.
She was like screaming as soon as I put her in there. She just stood there and went.
Yeah, like I thought at first the water was too hot, and like we checked the temperature, and it was definitely not too hot.
Yeah, the thermometer even like it's like 96. Like that's nowhere near.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, a little cold for me, but
yeah.
And then she was like standing there with her leg
up, and I think it's just because of the feeling of the bubbles on her skin. Yeah. She was like, "Why is this?"
She's had bubble baths though. Which
is just all of a sudden tonight,
weird thing.
She didn't like it for whatever reason.
Liam loves the bubble baths.
Yeah, he loves it.
The bubbles. He was like,
"Oh yeah,
that's great."
Yeah, yeah, and she was like freaking out.
Yeah,
yeah. Her life flashed before her eyes tonight. Like
that was it. It was the worst thing to ever exist.
Yeah.
She was like content looking at them before I put her in there too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was wiping her butt first. Really pissed her off.
After you, like, honestly, sometimes she just gets angry and you don't know why.
I was gonna say I don't remember the last time you wiped my ass. So
yeah, I don't either. Thank God. Hope you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
That's a pretty picture.
When we're older, what we get to look forward to.
Woohoo. I'm not doing it. Paying someone to do it.
You're going to pay someone to do it?
Yeah. So that's like one of the number one reasons why people that have like medical conditions and stuff end up apart or like resenting each other is because one relies on the other one so much.
That's true.
And then they don't have like another person to do all the daily shit.
That could be true.
Oh, he did move.
He
Look at
did.
that.
He's just snuggling with his mama.
Yeah. I was about to say, let's get into maybe our first story. Mother who left toddler home alone for 10 days to go on vacation. Sentenced to life over her murder. So I stumbled across this. This one's a really recent one. Look at this. March 19th is the date. She's sentenced to aggravated murder for her 16-month-old daughter, Jalen, in June 2023. An Ohio mom has been sentenced to life over the death of her toddler after she left home for 10 days last summer. Crystal Candelario, 32, received a life sentence without parole on Monday for the aggravated murder of her 16-month-old daughter, Jalen, who died when Candelario went on vacation in June 2023. The sentence comes after the guilty pleas. Let's get down to the business. She left her 16-month-old daughter unattended in her Cleveland home from June 6th to June 16th. The office added in its release, when she returned to the residence around 8 a.m., she found her daughter unresponsive and called the police, who later declared the toddler deceased at the scene. He was discovered in a pack-and-play pen on a liner soiled with urine and feces with soiled blankets. Yeah, that's absolutely messed up. Look at her.
That's super messed up.
Basically, the people that would normally go over and check on the baby were gone too. Like, they just weren't home. So when she left the baby, there was no one even remotely close that could help the baby. So she just left assuming that someone would go over to her house and check on her baby for her toddler. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I have like no comment on that. That is just so not okay.
Yeah. So this is just, it's such a terrible thing. You don't want to think about it, and you don't want to think about there are people like that out there where you can just go ahead and leave your kid for 10 days. Like, if you can't take care of your kid, like, just give the kid up. I don't know what to tell you. If you're the kind of person that's just going to straight up leave your child, like, your child would have been screaming their head off, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
And they would have, like,
actually, like, think about that though.
That child would have, like, that was like a,
it's like,
sure, like, it's a,
yeah, it's literally traumatizing to think about.
Yeah.
Even like that people do this.
The, like, someone saw comments, and it was just someone had explained like that child's memories, like last memories, are just gonna be screaming, not knowing where its mom is, anything like that, and just slowly dying of dehydration, you know, screaming its head off till it passes out and then wakes up, and same thing over and over.
Oh my God, I can't even think about it. It makes me almost like queasy. That's terrible.
And
yeah.
Like, it's just,
people are terrible.
there's no other words for it. We're laughing, but we're laughing out of, I think,
like, just shock. Yeah.
Like, I found that one today, and I was like, oh my God. Scrolling the Reddits, and I was like, holy shit. Couldn't believe it when I read it.
Yeah.
She's been sentenced to life.
Good.
Yeah. I think I had read that the judge basically at sentencing had said, like, at least, you know, you'll be locked away just like you locked your daughter away, but at least you'll have some food and water.
Yeah. I know. It's like, I mean, this is going to sound bad, but like, I wish there was a system where people like this got the same treatment in prison. Oh, you left your 16-month-old daughter without any food and water for 10 days? Well, guess what? You're not going to get any food or water for 10 days either. Yeah. Let's see what happens to you.
A little capital punishment there.
Yeah, see how you feel, right? Like,
yeah. I think the same way about there's certain cases, and a lot of the time there's no the people that do these kinds of things are going to be in prison for life. There's no way that's getting overturned. There's no way they're ever going on parole. Just straight up, as soon as someone reads the case file, that you're not getting out. And it's just like you're not going to be a contributing member of society. You're literally just sucking tax dollars because you were a piece of shit.
Yeah, you're welcome for paying your rent in prison.
Yeah. Rent free, you get free food. You get 3 meals a day, you get free rent. Trying to see the downside here.
Yeah.
Just don't piss off the person next to you. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. You're the one that you're bunked with.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So that was
that's a terrible one, man.
It's horrible. It's really, really dark.
Oof.
Yeah. Now we got a couple more stories. That one was obviously hard. These next couple are pretty shitty as well. So they're not fun stories.
They're not to be taken lightly.
You wanna tell a more lighthearted story, or do you wanna go into the next one?
Yeah, I'll go into the next one here.
You wanna go to the next one?
Yeah.
Right. Let's check out the next one. Okay, so this one's a little bit older. It's about 5 years old. So this is an update because this crime originally occurred in 2003. So she basically wants to get out of prison early after 15 years, serving 15 out of 30 years sentence. So she pled guilty in 2003 to dozens of charges for locking her lesbian partner's 5 sons in the closet while she went out.
Along with her partner in the closet, I'm pretty sure, right?
No. The partners. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that'd be a little bit hard.
Yeah.
So the 5 sons in a tiny closet for days and weeks at a time, forcing them to eat human and animal feces.
Oh my
and other
God.
extreme acts of abuse and neglect. Yeah. So she's, I think, was into drugs because she's attending a bunch of different Narcotics Anonymous meetings. She says, I've caused a lot of pain, suffering, grief with my victims. She wrote in her letter, I'm truly sorry. I want to move forward. I want a second chance, Your Honor, to show you, my victims, my family, and the community that after 15 years of being incarcerated, that I am a changed and a better person.
Sorry just doesn't cut it for me.
No, I don't understand. Maybe she's at a different time in her life because said she did attend Narcotics Anonymous, so maybe she was shooting up every day kind of thing.
Recovering or trying to.
Recovering in prison, right?
Yeah.
So it's easier to recover in prison. Easier and harder in different ways.
Yeah.
But when she's out on the street and she starts hanging out with the same crowd or same people, like, is she going to be getting into that stuff again? And
yeah,
you would never want to keep your kid near that kind of person.
Absolutely not.
No. So the child victims in this case were starved, beaten, kept in inhumane conditions throughout the process of cruel, ritualistic punishment. So that just means that they were being beaten or abused and neglected, like in a ritual, like just like at a specific time, specific day, or for certain acts, for certain things. So it was like a daily occurrence, essentially. Like it was like every day at like 4, she just got off her rocker and decided to
haul off
on the kids, or
that's terrible.
Do whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So physical, emotional damage, obviously. Jenkins and Mary Rouse, 47, her lesbian partner, were sentenced to 30 years in prison. The boy's sisters also lived in the home, but wasn't subject to the same abuse. So the children were between 7 and 16. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So the boys were forced to sleep in their own urine-soaked blankets in a windowless 3 by 5 foot closet for days or weeks at a time. They're forced to swallow human and animal feces, lick toilet bowls as punishment for urinating on the toilet seat, and eat cat food. When Jenkins became angry at the sentencing, prosecutors showed pictures of the frail, waif-like boys, their ribs and collarbones protruding through their skin, as well as some photos of the family's refrigerator and pantry overflowing with food. They appealed their sentence, but they remained the same. Yeah, her request was, so I think that's the partner. Her request was denied in 2018. Yeah, it's just, can't even like make this stuff up. Like, how do you convince someone that you've changed? Even the fact of the matter is, like, even if you have changed, like, who's gonna give you a second chance?
You should have changed then.
Yeah, like, that's messed up. So the thing that's crazy is that they had daughters that weren't treated like that. So they're treating the boys like just pieces of shit, I guess. It was the boys were stuck in a little closet, 3x5. So what's that? Tiny. So that's like our coat closet, maybe.
Yeah.
That 3x5.
No windows.
No windows.
Just smelling the urine, smelling the feces.
Yeah, you're soaked in your.
It's not even good to smell that stuff.
No.
For long periods of time, let alone eating it.
Yeah. That's absolutely wild.
That's just absolutely disgusting.
You can't really make that stuff up at all.
No, you literally can't. Wow.
Yeah, I said at the beginning of this, like, these are some pretty intense stories. I don't know if I said intense, but Jesus Christ, like.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Sorry for the language this episode. There's almost no words to describe the inhumanity, like, of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even things that like, how can you wrap your head around that, like, that's acceptable?
Or like the thought even.
Mhm.
Like, I would never even think about doing something like that.
Right?
To my kids.
It's just it's really absolutely mind-boggling, no matter what your state of mind, like, that you can just treat someone like that, especially like if they're close to you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's so terrible. You don't even see them as your kids. You don't even see them as human. You probably see them as inhuman. You see them as not even pets, like, just.
Well, that's just it. Like, I'd hate to see how they treat their animals.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, if you can do this to a human being, what's stopping you from doing that to an animal?
To them, that's not even a human being. Like, there's no way. Like, they had surplus of food. Like, it was out of the pantries. The fridge was stocked full. These kids are fucking starving, and they're giving them cat food. They're forced to eat animal poop and their own. Like, absolutely, in no way is that, like, even remotely plausible in my head. Like, how?
No, I know.
How do you come up with this shit? Like, how do you fucking, like, sit with yourself at the end of the day and think, like, this is acceptable, right? Like, how does someone do that?
I
Like,
literally don't know.
Mm-hmm. There's people that, like, you beat your kids and, like, maybe you get your mind around the fact that, like, you're showing dominance by beating them, or you're just taking your anger out on them. But then, like, if you're, I don't agree with beating your kids. I'm just using this as an example. But then you're going even farther than that. Instead of showing
love and affection,
and I'm not saying that. Sorry, that's not the words I was looking for. Now you're saying, oh, love and affection for fucking beating your kids. No, that's not it. Okay. Jenna beats me. Don't tell anyone. But you go from, like, that sort of abuse, and now instead of even just adding mental abuse to it, you're literally torturing them. Like, you're literally locking them in a tiny fucking closet and feeding them things that literally is not food.
Yeah.
Like, they're
literally eating their own waste.
It's a daily occurrence.
Ugh. Oh. Yeah, it's disgusting. So disgusting.
Yeah, fucking disgusting people.
Yeah.
I just thought about you know what story I just thought about? Thinking about that was it was on Netflix. It was like a 3-part series or something.
Yes, it's called The Case of Gabriel Fernandez.
Is it The Case of Gabriel Fernandez?
Yes. It's either The Case or Is it The Case? Yeah, it is The Case.
Just search Gabriel Fernandez on Netflix and you'll find it. That one's a holy shit.
It starts off very, very strong, just FYI.
Yeah, it's super strong. Like, that one, I remember watching it and I was like, geez.
Yeah, we had to take breaks frequently.
Yeah, it was a similar story to this, where one of the boys was just beaten and abused and tortured, neglected. all the above till ultimately something happens.
Mhm.
I will keep it spoiler free, but if you probably Google it, you'll find the answer very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a terrible.
That's a
story.
terrible story. I don't even.
We're
wanna get
not
into
going into that one. We're
No.
we're already loading you up with some hard shit here, so we're
Well, yeah.
we're gonna.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think there was the one story that I remember is was it on Facebook? I can't remember what platform it was on. It was online.
Okay.
But it was the woman that like gave her child coffee.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that one. What was it? It wasn't her child, was it her baby or
Her baby. Yeah, sorry, her baby.
She was trying to sleep train her kid.
Yeah.
So she started giving her kid coffee in their milk bottle so that they would stay up during the day and then sleep
at night.
And then I think there was like some sort of medical things going on with the kid, so that
Yeah.
she had to actually bring
Yeah,
it to
no
the hospital.
kidding.
And they're like wondering why the fuck she gave him coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It was just causing him to be super wired and shit.
Yeah, and like I remember her
And like the heart, I think it was the heart issue.
Yeah.
Heart or breathing or something like that.
Like I remember her saying like, "Oh, like don't hate me for giving my kid coffee. Like I didn't know it was bad for them and blah blah blah." And it's like, how did you not know that coffee is not good for your baby? Like,
yeah, I think it was like the dosage too, right? It was a lot of coffee.
It was a lot. Like, yeah.
There's coffee works for some kids, I guess. I don't know. Liam loves to smell coffee.
Oh my god, Liam's so cute. Every time I have my coffee in the morning and he wakes up or whatever,
He wants to smell your coffee.
Yeah, he runs right over and he's like, and he even has that grin. He's just like,
I'll let you have a sip if you want to. You'll just realize you'll never like it.
Yeah. Not until you're older, buddy.
So with the girl giving the kid coffee, that's one thing. But doctors may give your kid caffeine.
Yes.
Straight and very specifically dosed, and it'll be for a very specific purpose. When Liam was in the NICU, at one point they because he kept his oxygen levels kept going down. So they're wondering if he was just going into too deep of a sleep. So they actually gave him caffeine so that he wouldn't enter that super, super deep state.
Yeah.
And so that his mind would still kind of be telling his lungs to pretty much breathe.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But so caffeine does have a medical purpose. Let your doctor decide that.
Yeah.
If anyone fucks up, you better hope it's the doctor that fucks up, not you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If someone's responsible, at least you can blame them. That's not nice to say, but that's
yeah, but
you'll be hating yourself if you ever do anything and really fuck up your kid.
Yeah, exactly.
And doctors should know what they're doing.
You hope so. Most do, I guess.
Yeah. Most do. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I'm just here taking care of the fam.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah, that's a good point. There is medical situations where doctors will use caffeine to help your little one and whatnot. Yeah.
It just depends.
Yep.
I was looking into that and I had Googled it, and there's people that give their kids coffee, just 4-year-old kids coffee. Some people are advocating yeah, it's really great kind of thing for my kid. It helps them stay super focused because caffeine's a stimulant.
Right.
They have kids that aren't diagnosed with ADHD but are pretty sure, and they're it smooths them right out. Well, when you have ADHD, the first thing they want to give you is Adderall. Adderall is just speed. It's pretty much methamphetamine. You're just giving your kids meth to help them focus. That's almost what Adderall is. So it's just a stimulant. So coffee is a stimulant too, right? So if you have ADHD, coffee can help you focus.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. But I don't recommend self-medicating for your children,
No.
but your child is your child. We are not here to tell you what you can and cannot do with your kid. We offer some suggestions.
Some very friendly suggestions.
Very friendly.
Yes.
Somewhat.
Yes.
Yeah. Hate us, love us. We're here for you. We got one more WTF story. And then we're going to tell maybe one or two funny stories about this little butthead that's laying right here.
This one's
He's in
right
there.
here.
Don't bug him. Look at him. He's like, excuse me. Our final story. Teen who allegedly killed stuffed newborn baby in hospital trash can released from jail. So a 19-year-old allegedly killed her newborn son by stuffing him in a hospital trash can and was released from jail on a $100,000 bond ahead of her high school graduation. So in the States, I think a bond, you have to pay 10% of it. And then you have to loan it the night. I don't know how it works exactly, but you have to. So someone had to put up $10,000 to get her out of jail. But basically, in December 2022, they claimed Alexei Trevizo. I'm going to try and say the names right, maybe. Went to an Artesia, New Mexico hospital complaining of severe back pain. She was treated, released. A few weeks later, she went back complaining of back pain, but when she was there, hospital staff members believe she locked herself inside the bathroom. She gave birth to her child in the bathroom and then stuffed it into the trash can. The baby's dead. A hospital worker can be heard saying to officers on body cam footage, she killed the kid. A medical examiner classified the newborn's death as a homicide, noting the death was not consistent with a stillbirth as the little baby boy had air in his lungs. After 4 months of investigating, Treviso was arrested on May 10th and charged with first-degree murder, child abuse, and tampering with evidence. She was released on a bond. Her release stipulates her to require 7 to 7 curfew, but she's not required to be on house arrest or wear a GPS bracelet. She'll be allowed to attend her high school graduation on May 25th. I don't think that there's anything surprising or unusual about it. I don't think she's a flight risk, the whole purpose. So that's just about that. Yeah, so she wasn't charged with it. Basically, jury found her not guilty of all the charges except for abusing a corpse. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? I've hurt so many people with what I've done. I'm forever sorry. She was sentenced to 3 years of community control in 2022. Judge ordered her conviction record to be sealed. Yeah, because she would have been a minor at the time.
Right.
So she was when she was 17.
Woo.
This is just there's a lot. This goes into great detail about it.
Yeah.
Well, not great detail, but quite a bit of detail. But anyways, yeah, so that's a fun one. So she stuffed her newborn baby in a hospital trash can. I remember seeing because there was other articles when I was researching this about apparently she had tried stuffing stuff on top of the baby too to cover it up so that people would just take the trash can out. And then
this newborn baby
gave birth, and then whatever she did, killed the baby somehow.
Wow!
Put him in the trash can.
That's wow.
I'd read that she had hid it from a lot of people that she was pregnant. She knew she was pregnant, and she just didn't tell anybody. And only her boyfriend knew, and I think a cousin or something knew. And there's a lot when you research into it.
Yeah.
I can't even understand it, right? I know a lot of people are struggling with a lot of stuff, but there had to have been a resource that she could have reached out to, someone that she could have given the kid to, just not even giving a baby a chance.
Yeah.
That baby had no chance at life.
Yeah.
So she's still waiting sentencing. I'm assuming she's going to get some pretty fucking hardcore sentencing.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah. Her defense is pretty much going to be oh, she was a teenager and she wasn't right in her mind and something. And then they're going to try and get her off on a super little conviction. They're going to be like, she was a kid at the time. So she should be sentenced to like on kid terms.
Not adult sentencing. Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, no, she was close enough to an adult that she should have fucking known what she was doing.
Well, at least known like right from wrong.
Yeah.
Not necessarily known what she was doing with a baby, but known right from wrong. Like very common sense. What not to do with a baby.
She didn't tell anybody, which is the fucked up thing. And she was at the hospital too, of all places, where she did it. Like, imagine the nurse that found that. Like, she probably wouldn't even believed what the fuck was happening.
No, probably not.
Like, she would have looked and been like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I read, like, apparently she'd taken a long time in the bathroom. And then she had tried to stuff. She cleaned up, like, all the mess from it all. And then, like, stuffed the baby in the bottom of the trash can and put all the stuff on top, right? And so I think it was like the nurse had went in after she was done and like looked around and looked in the trash can and stuff to figure out what the fuck was going on. She was in the bathroom obviously for a long time.
You would think like the nurses would have checked on her at some point. Like, you can't tell me she, like, did she give birth quietly?
I don't know if they were just assuming maybe she was, she might have been super quiet, but they might have been assuming she was like doing drugs or something and they didn't want to walk in on her doing
maybe
drugs. Yeah, I'd have to look in like the more details, but like that was the crazy part. Like almost nobody knew that she was pregnant too.
Wow.
Like her body type, she was able to hide it really well.
Just a small girl.
Yeah, small, just like the I didn't know I was pregnant people.
I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah, that's I think that's the worst show for teenage girls. That I didn't know I was pregnant.
It's very dramatized.
How many girls in high school were like, "I think I'm pregnant"? Like, no, you like.
And then there's also ones that are like, "What if I'm pregnant and I don't know?"
Yeah, there's people that are like that. I could name like 5 off the top of my head in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But like high school girls are like that a lot, right?
We're not
like,
saying it doesn't happen.
And then they
it does.
Boyfriends and
there's been, I think I've had a couple people say that they've known someone that like was pregnant but didn't start showing, and like they actually legitimately didn't know they were pregnant until they had the baby.
It takes, because like sometimes your body can act normal, right? Like,
yeah, you
can get the spotting, which can look like a period, or feel like, especially if you have late periods, right? Maybe it's heavy, I don't know. Who am I to tell you what a period looks like? Anyway, fuck it, man, I tell you. But anyways, yeah, like you can have that, and then some people don't put on weight, and some people don't get a belly, and then sometimes people can't just you know, like I gained like 10 pounds like in the last like 3 months. I must just be eating like shit. Diet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's absolutely crazy. And then you just sit on the toilet because you got cramps and you think you're gonna let a massive shit out, but it turns out that the baby coming out of your vagina. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
It's absolutely wild and insane in the membrane.
Yeah.
Insane in the brain. But I think that's going to conclude the crazy shit.
The crazy stories. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the crazy stories. We're going to tell you some crazy shit here in a minute.
Quite literally.
Mr. Crazy right here, and we're going to talk about his shit. So that's your warning. We're going to talk about some stanky dookie. Just so you know, I'll let you kick this one off.
Oh, you want me to kick this one off?
Yeah, you kick this one off.
All right. So this dog, we discovered very recently, probably about 2 months ago, that he absolutely loves butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah. Anyway, so one day, so usually we have our butter in a glass dish. And one day we went out to do groceries or errands with the kids. I can't remember. And we came back and we saw the butter dish was smashed on the floor into a bazillion pieces. And there was blood on the dish. And I'm thinking like, holy crap. Like, I really hope he didn't eat a piece of glass and it's in his body. It's going to puncture one of his organs and blah, blah, blah. But no, he ate, like, I'm not just talking about a stick of butter. I'm talking about those big blocks of butter.
1 pounder.
No. So the first one was only half a pound.
Yeah, because you only had like half.
Yeah. So the first one was a half a pound. And honestly, we were shocked. He was like completely fine. Like nothing happened. Didn't phase him. Pooping normal. He was good. And then I think it was like a week and a half later.
We had a new dish.
Yes,
new glass dish.
Yes, completely new glass dish with a full pound of butter in it. And again, we had to go do a grocery run, took the kids out. We made sure before this to put the butter away because he learned a new skill with his old age of counter hopping. And we thought, okay, we'll put it away. That way he won't be able to get the butter. But we forgot. We forgot that one day because he was so good. He was being so good for the longest time. And we were being good at putting the butter away. And we just didn't think anything of it. Went to go get groceries, came back with the kids. And you went in to the house.
I did go in the house
first. And you said you could smell something.
You could smell it as soon as you open the door. You could just big waft of crap. Anyways, I had Lily in my arms, I think. So I was like, I had to have Lily. I had the groceries for sure.
I think it was just groceries.
Just groceries.
I had the both
sides on the door, and I kind of just took a look over to see if I could see anything. All I saw on the floor was just a small little turd.
And we're like, okay, that's not too bad. Like, whatever.
He's normally really good when we leave him alone.
He doesn't normally do that.
Doesn't normally
at
do
all.
Anything. Like a tiny turd. And I was like, okay. I was like, it's weird that smells so badly.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Jenna, he pooped or something like that. I don't fucking remember. But
yeah, you told me it was like a little turd, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, we'll just clear the house out. Not a big deal.
So, anyways, I think I was grabbing more groceries, or I grabbed one of the kids, and I was bringing stuff to the kitchen, and like I walked over, and it was on the other side of the table
where the kids' chairs were.
Yeah, and it was it looked like someone had opened like a store-bought jar of butter chicken sauce and just like poured it on the floor. And I was like, good God, dog.
Yeah, and then you came out to me saying, no, there's more.
I was like, it's way worse. Like,
it's like, oh, perfect. And like, I think at that point, I think I had either Lily or Liam in my arms, and like I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go in and see what we have, what situation we have in here. And then I was like, oh. So I took the kids to the back. It was a little chilly, but it was warm enough to have them outside for a little bit on the deck.
Yeah.
And so I took them to the deck and I tied the dog outside just so everyone's outside and didn't have to smell. And then like while you were cleaning it up, I was bringing in some groceries while the kids were on the deck.
I think I had gloves on. Jesus.
Oh my God. And like you always say that I did not smell it like you did. But you know what? No. You know what? I did, because the second you even swiped to pick any up, it like wolfs. Like
really?
It was disgusting.
I was right there. I know exactly what
it's God. I thought I was gonna puke.
I was this close to it. Like this close. You were like farther than you are right now. So like you were like 10 feet away, and
doesn't mean I can't
smell so bad.
Doesn't mean I can't smell it like
I'm
you
sitting
can.
Here going try not to fucking throw up, and you're like, it smells bad.
It's funny because you don't usually get grossed out. Like you're usually really
like
good.
I'm doing like an art project on the floor, trying to clean it up. Like,
yeah, it was nasty, and he must have done it like right when we left. And you know what? He probably ate the butter, and he was like, "Oh."
He was fine after pooping that out.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, my tummy doesn't feel very good."
We assumed on the heck was that?
He's just licking his lips.
I thought he had like farted or something.
I'm talking about his favorite food, butter.
His eyes are just. You can see his eye in the camera, but thinking about the first time he ate the butter,
talking
the
about
half
butter?
pounder. When he ate the half pound butter, he didn't have any upset tummy. Taking
No
it on the
shits,
block,
no anything.
weird shits, no nothing. He was like acting like it was normal. Like he processed half a pound of butter. We found 1 pound is his limit. So,
I think it's safe to say that it literally slid out like butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
So gross.
Yeah.
Man, that's
No.
nasty. And then the other thing he did was, I think we had just gotten home and he had the pre-thawed butter that we had accidentally left on the counter. And I think we had cut it in half because we did baking or something like that. And he managed to, so like he was licking at the couch cushions. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then you went over and he was looking at yet another thing of butter.
Yeah.
He had like just jammed in the cushions. We didn't see it until we're like, Mickey, what are you doing?
Yeah, he couldn't. It sucks for him because like it was a couch upstairs.
Yeah.
And so like the cushions aren't detachable. Like you can't just like, do that. So he had taken it to the couch at some point and had shoved it in there and he couldn't eat it because he couldn't get it. And so he's just going trying to get it.
Looking at it like.
Anyways, I finally went over. I'm like, oh, it's butter. And like there was like little gnaw marks at the end of it, but it was like butter was.
Yeah, we caught him in the
irritating.
act at that time.
Yeah.
Freaking dog.
He's a butter fiend. Like he just loves butter.
Even after eating a whole pound of butter, like he doesn't think twice. Like
If I get the butter dish right now,
his eyes are just like
he'll be full bug eyed and he'll like
drooling. He would be drooling.
loves it.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh,
Yeah, this dog. Hey,
yeah, we're talking about you.
talking about you, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh, anyways, I think that's gonna end it for story time.
I think so.
Sorry if we really ruined your day in the middle of this episode by going over those stories. They were pretty intense.
Yeah.
I hope that we could lift your spirits a little bit with that last one about Anyways, I think that's it for us today. As always, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jenna.
And this is The Real Life of Parenting.